Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner Couch podcast where we talk about fantasy football and really all things football. My name is David Cahoon and that is my friend Ryan Mosser right across the screen from me. We're so excited to have you with us. Ryan, how you feeling?
Good, buddy. Excited. Yeah. So little background. David and I have been really, really close friends. I'd say best friends since college, about 10 years, over 10 years now.
That's crazy. That has been over 10 years, actually.
Insane. Wow. We've been in fantasy football leagues, but we were given an incredible opportunity and we are just going to go for it. We're really excited. We are brought to you by Inside Edge Network and LVP Productions. We want to give a huge shout out to them for giving us the opportunity. We're very, very grateful and hopefully we make you guys proud. And also we are brought to you by Mosser Moments Photography. That's our sponsor. They're a husband and wife Cleveland-based photography team that specializes in weddings. Go to monstermomentsphotography.com, MOSSOR momentsphotography.com to check them out. They're really awesome because they're me. It's my company. I
will say I used Monster Moments Photography for my engagement and wedding recently. So
that's true. Yeah.
For how quality their products are.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you can go check out our website. You can check out the portfolio there. David's on there. There's, I don't know, like over 100, maybe close to 200 now weddings and different photo shoots on there, and we're really grateful that I'm able to sponsor the podcast. I'm really excited about that. So check out monstermomentsphotography.com, and we will get started. Dave, let's do it. Let's talk some fantasy football.
Also, if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are listening, they need photographers for their wedding.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
I know a guy. So we're just going to jump in real quick, talk through what this podcast is all about, hit on who it's for, what our target audience may be, and where you can find our podcast. So, we are all about fantasy football in this podcast, hence the name, the Commissioner Couch. Believe it or not, Ryan, I've never actually been a commissioner of a fantasy football league. I've only in football leagues.
That's so funny. I've been a commissioner, and I've actually never won my league, so I stopped being a commissioner. My wife was actually in my league 3 times and beat me, and I was like, dude, this is that was before I was a self-proclaimed expert. That was years ago. So
we're just rookies.
Yeah. I was like, for number 1 rule, I'm not going to be a commissioner anymore, and number 2 rule, my wife is not going to be in my leagues anymore. That trophy in the house is not fun when it's not yours. So.
Yeah, so if you are either a brand new person to fantasy football or if you're a seasoned vet, our hope and goal is that these podcasts can be helpful for you. We will talk through what kind of fantasy football is all about, how it's organized, how it's set up. And if you just want some tips on who to start this week or what people to watch and stream off the waiver wires, these are your podcasts. So
definitely
you can find them on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and these videos will be posted there as well. So
go on YouTube, check us out. We'll be on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter guy, so I'm gonna build up the Twitter hopefully pretty good. You can check us. We'll be on TikTok, Instagram, anywhere. What is that tag, David? It's at
the Commissioner Couch. Hold on, I forgot what it was too.
You're good. We just made it yesterday, so it is at Commish Couch, COMMISH Couch. That's on Twitter. I'm sure it's relatively the same, but we'll have a link tree soon, and we can link all those, so you'll be able to check us out. It'll be linked on our Twitter and all that, and you can go to Linktree. It'll have all the links. You can go to each one and subscribe to them. We'll be really grateful for that. So
yeah. All right, so let's just jump in and talk through Fantasy Football 101. What is fantasy football? How does the scoring work? How does the layout of teams work? What are the different leagues that you can be involved in? Give us the rundown, Master Mosser.
So if you're brand new to fantasy football, welcome. It's it's so fun. It's addicting. Most people, they like to stick to, just before, probably around draft time, NFL draft time till the end of the season. For sickos like me and Dave, like I'm scouting high school players. I'm scouting guys because I'm a big Buckeyes fan. So I like to do, Buckeyes recruiting. And then, through that college recruiting, I do college fantasy football as well. So, I'm always trying to find diamonds in the rough. But for people who aren't sickos, I would just recommend a standard redraft league. There are several platforms that you could do a fantasy football league on there. My favorite is called Sleeper. It's an app you can download in the App Store or the Google Play Store.
The best fantasy football app.
I agree. Yeah, I was for a long time. I was on the ESPN app, and I liked it for a long time. But Sleeper, once they came in, and they basically just took it over. But there's also Yahoo Fantasy Football. There's like FanDuel for if you want to do like daily fantasy football and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Underdog's another one too.
Yeah. But yeah, I would stick to Redraft, which is just you get a collective people of a group of people. I would say at least 6 people who can manage a team. I would say 6 is pretty. Not too many people do 6. They'd rather do 8 to 10. 6 is pretty cupcake, I would say, in terms. Yeah. But for just learning how to do fantasy football, it's pretty good. Hey, get a family league, get your sister, brother, mom, dad in on it, and just go from there.
Join
Redraft.
Work league.
Yeah, work league. Yeah. So Redraft. Every year you start new. You draft a whole new team. Sleeper puts you in a randomized draft order, and then you draft. Say you have 8 people in your league. You'll draft 1 through 8. And then the 8th person will draft twice in a row. So they'll have pick 9, and it's called a snake draft. You go through, and you basically just draft the best team you can. You usually start, 1 quarterback, a running back or 2, a couple of receivers, and flex spots. Flex spots are positions where you can start a running back, a receiver, or a tight end. And you also get a tight end spot. But yeah, that's where I would start definitely is redraft. What would you say, Dave?
Yeah, I'd say redraft is the best place to start. Just literally, if you have a group of friends and you're just like, hey, I just want to start this, just ask around. I'm sure you can find 6, 7, 8 people to go join you in a league. Right. If you are a little bit more seasoned, you're like, hey, I've been doing this fantasy football thing for like 3 years now. I kind of want something a little bit more. I think the next step after that would be to check out best ball drafts. Okay. Or I think another alternative to that would be a guillotine league. Sure. Both of those ones I think are like a little bit more, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know how the scoring works. I know how the team is built. But I kind of want to like try to enhance my football knowledge. Sure. So guillotine leagues are leagues where you are just playing against everybody all at the same time. And you're just trying to not score the least amount of points.
Yeah.
Every week somebody gets chopped, whoever scores the least amount of points, and then their players become available to pick up off the waiver wire. And it's a little bit more fun because it's not so much like, oh, I have to set my lineup perfect. You just need to not come in last.
Yeah. So with that, we should talk about scoring as well and stuff like that. So usually standard scoring. So the way fantasy football works is you are getting points based off the players you draft's performance. So say you draft a quarterback, you obviously want your quarterback to succeed. You want him to have completions. You want him to score touchdowns. You don't want him to have incompletions or turn the ball over, throw interceptions. So each time he does something, he's based off a score. So whether it's going to go positive or negative. There's like PPR scoring, which is points per reception. There's standard scoring, there's tight end premium, there's super flex. There's a lot of different kinds of scoring. But like for PPR, it would be points per reception. So anytime someone catches the ball, you get 1 point. Yep. And then usually with that, up to 10 yards, you can get a point too. So say someone catches a ball for 10 yards, that's going to be 2 points total. And then you would subtract, it's a catch for 5 yards. It'd be 1.5 because I got that 1 point for a catch, and then it's 0.5 for the 10 yards. Hopefully this is making sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. Yeah. So basically you're just looking for the best players, the best matchups to score the most points to beat your opponent who's doing the same thing. That's basically what the rundown of fantasy football is. It can get competitive. It's a lot of fun. You can get into the nitty gritty of stats and analytics. You can, you ride the waiver wire. It's a lot of fun. You can put as much into it as you want, and you'll get back as much as you put in. So
yep, yeah, and yeah, there's just a lot of fun that comes with it too, because you get to just brag on winning rights. And then you also get to win money too in some leagues if you're playing. Sure. I've been in a lot of best ball leagues this year, and I'm very excited about that. Last year I won, I think it was like $1,000 off of like a $20 entry.
Nice.
So yeah, it worked out pretty well. So yeah, if you're ever interested in any of those different types of leagues, check them out.
So I have another list of leagues actually. So I just want to go through all the different kinds of leagues. So by draft format, like I said, there's redraft leagues, there's keeper leagues, which we haven't talked about. Keeper leagues, you keep a few players from your previous season's roster. So you would do the first season, you do like a redraft league. So you draft your players and try to win. The next year, if your league continues, you get an option of keeping like usually 2, sometimes 3 players on your team. And then you draft, like everyone gets to keep 2 or 3 players. And then you draft the rest of the players throughout each other. That's a lot of fun, I think. It adds long-term strategy without like full dynasty commitment. Now, I say Dynasty League is the next format that you could do. Dynasty,
my personal favorite format.
Mine as well. You can you draft the redraft league, but you are, instead of a redraft, you are going to keep these players for their career or until you trade them or cut them off your roster. So like you basically own the rights to these guys for as long as you want. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of deep strategy. I am the trade king. I love making trades. We'll get into that eventually, but there's a lot of different options with Dynasty that just makes it very, very appealing to guys who are addicted to fantasy football like myself. Every year you draft new rookies after that. You're not drafting the NFL players. You're scouting the guys coming into the NFL, and then you'll draft those guys to add on to your team that you're already building. So it's a lot of fun. There's also auction leagues. So instead of drafting, you bid on players with a budget. And with that budget, you can't go over it, but you have to complete a whole team. And then that allows more like roster construction because instead of like a normal standard league of drafting, you have like only a select few players that you can draft because others are taken. You can draft any player you want as long as you bid enough money for it. So that's a lot of fun. Then you can go by season management. Like David mentioned, best ball. There's no weekly lineup changes. Your best players are also auto-selected, which is really nice. So whoever you draft, that's your team. There's no more waiver wires. There's no picking up anybody, but your team will automatically say like you drafted 2 quarterbacks and one did better. The one that did better will automatically go up to the top, and that's the guy who you started. So that's a lot of fun. There's no trades, no waivers, like I said, just draft and watch. David mentioned guillotine as well. It's the lowest scoring team each week is eliminated, so all you have to do is not be the worst that week, the worst team. And we mentioned like 6 to 8 teams are like decent to start out, but there's no limit on how many teams you can have. Like we're in 18 league teams. I've seen teams, leagues that have 100 teams, which is crazy. But if you wanted to do it, you could. So that would make it a lot harder. You'd have to find a lot of low scoring sleepers that way, but you can. The next one is Survivor League. It's similar to Guillotine, but you pick one team to win each week. You don't I think the Browns are going to win. And then you just hope every single player in the Browns scores good, and then that will be your scoring for the week. One wrong pick and you're out though, because hey, I pick the Browns because I'm a Brown fan.
New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, the Saints. Say they don't do well, they don't score any points, the offense struggles to get down the field. You're going to be out because the Saints did not play well and you picked the Saints. So you want to pick a team that's relatively good so that you score well. Then there's by scoring format. There's standard scoring, points for yards and touchdowns, no bonuses for receptions. There's PPR, which I already mentioned, adds value to pass catching for running backs and wide receivers. So I would say specifically for running backs in general too, because not a lot of running backs catch the ball out of the backfield. So this gives them a way to be rewarded. It's not like, hey, you're just running down the field and hopefully you get enough yards and carries to now it adds a little depth to the running back position, which I really like. And it can also be full PPR, half PPR. So full PPR would be one point per reception, or half PPR is half point per reception. So 2 catches equals 1 point. Then tight end premium is another one. Sorry, I'm rambling, but I just want to get through all these. Tight end premium is another one. Tight end premium I was introduced to last year, but I actually really like it. So this brings a premium to the tight end position. So that means that tight end earns extra points per reception. So say you have a full PPR league, so every time you get a catch, you get a point. This means that every time a tight end gets a catch, he gets 2 points because tight ends it's a premium. It's a premium position. It's a lot of fun.
Tight ends catch the ball a lot less too. So
yeah, so it makes those elite tight ends way more valuable. We're talking maybe Tyler Warren coming out this year, but we're talking
Bowers.
We're talking Trey McBride, Travis Kelce, guys like that. Yeah. Next one is Superflex League. I love Superflex, but a lot of my let's say league mates and
my
honest, older ones hate it.
I don't like it.
I love it. I think it brings more fun and it makes it fun to the game, and it makes the quarterback position more important, I would say. So Superflex allows a second quarterback in your lineup via flexible position. So you, instead of just starting the one quarterback at the top, a normal format, I would say, would be quarterback, running back, receiver, and then 3 flex spots. Flex spots are, you can play a running back, a receiver, or a tight end in that spot. So, it rewards you for drafting players that necessarily, you didn't think were going to be good, but are good. So with that, I lost my place. Sorry. Oh, it allows the second quarterback in your lap. Yeah. So the quarterbacks score a lot of points. We know that. If you draft Lamar Jackson to put him in your quarterback spot, and then you take a chance on, say, Drake May last year or Bo Nix last year, you panned out because both of those guys were top 10, top 15 quarterbacks as rookies. You throw them in your super flex spot, and now you got another guy who you didn't expect to score a bunch of points as scoring points. So makes quarterbacks very, very important, and there's not even a backup in a super flex league that is not on a team. Like, that is the prime position. And then a couple more fun variants. IDP is a cool thing. Individual defensive player. Instead of team defenses, which sometimes you can play like a whole team defense. So I think the Browns defense is going to be good this season. So I'm going to start them at my defense spot, and hopefully they stop a bunch of teams, get a bunch of interceptions, and give me points, because you get points for interceptions and sacks and things like that. You also lose points if you give up touchdowns and a ton of yards and big plays and things like that. So it makes it just another variant. But IDP, instead of team defenses, you draft actual individual defensive players. So like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Pat Surtain, any of those guys you could draft, and then they could score based off their performance as just playing defense.
Some leagues even, sorry to jump in, but
ahead,
IDPs, some leagues even have it split up to where you can have one defensive back in your lineup and one defensive lineman in your lineup. It just adds a little more variance to that part of it as well.
Definitely. 2 more. There's something called an Empire League. This is a dynasty style league with a twist. If someone wins 2 years in a row, the league ends completely. So it's like, I've never done this one, but it seems like crazy. So it's incredibly competitive because you do not want like the entire league will we don't conspire, we don't collude for fantasy football, but you don't want that man to win again because then the league's over. So it adds a long-term goal beyond yearly wins because it's cutthroat. It's pretty crazy. And then the final one is called a Vampire League. Vampire Leagues. I also have not been in one of these, but I heard about these last year, and I think I'm going to join one probably next year. One player from the Vampire League doesn't draft at all. Okay, he builds a team by stealing players from the other teams, and then what this does, it adds chaos unpredictably because you don't know when I don't know the full details. I think it's like once per, like he takes one player per team for his team, and then like once per week he's able to steal a player as well. So that's it's kind of fun. It's just
I like that idea.
Yeah, I think we should try that soon. And as we go through episodes and stuff, we'll do mock drafts. We'll bring in some other people who we like. We're part of Brown's Twitter pretty prominently, and we know a lot of people on there that love to do mock drafts. So we'll do a tight end premium draft. We'll do a super flex just for fun, just to show what it's all about for people who have never seen the league before. We'll show you in future episodes.
Yeah.
That's my spiel, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I love it. I don't think there's any other leagues that come to mind that you haven't.
I covered all of them, I think.
Yeah. There are some like college leagues out there as well. You were in a campus to Canton league, which is very like in depth.
And Devi.
Yeah, in the Devi league as well. But those are a lot more if you're wanting to follow players from their college days, incoming freshmen, all the way through like their time in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if you're not that in depth on it, just stick to the normal fantasy football leagues that we just talked about.
I'll touch on those real quick. Sorry.
Sure.
A lot of people. I heard about college fantasy football 2 years ago. It's not a big thing. Not a lot of people know about it. College fantasy football. You go through the app or the website called Fantrax. It's the only one right now that is providing college fantasy football. But basically, Devi is a developmental league. So basically, you draft college players. They just have to be college eligible, freshmen to seniors, and you basically farm them over to your dynasty league. So once they graduate or go to the NFL, then you hope they're a first round pick and they go to your league. Then there's C2C, like you said, is Campus to Canton, where basically you have your dynasty league and you have your college team, your Devi league, except the college team also scores points. So you want to draft a really good college team or one that scores a lot of points. but also that is also a developmental league. That when those guys graduate and go to the NFL, they'll still go over to your dynasty league. So that's 2 different leagues in one. You have 2 different payments, but then say my NFL dynasty league sucks. My college one's really good. I'll still hopefully win some money, and then once those guys go to the NFL, then my team will be better on the NFL side. Yeah. So really, really, really cool stuff. Yeah, I won't go too much into that, but yeah, if you wanted to do college fantasy football, Fantrax is a really cool thing, and hopefully Sleeper just takes over college fantasy football here soon. They just did guillotine leagues this year. They added that, and that's been awesome because you don't have to do the external apps for the guillotine leagues anymore, which we did last year and the year before. So
yeah. So yeah, those are all the different types of leagues you can be in. If you're ever curious or anything, just ask around, reach out to us on Twitter. We'll have help. So let's get into our next segment, Ryan.
Let's do it, bro.
The legacy lineup. So this one is going to be a weekly segment that we do in our shows where we just talk through what is our best possible lineup that we can set in fantasy football for this upcoming week. So since this is week 1 of the 2025 season, do you want me to go first with my lineup, or do you want to do yours first?
You go first. So I did just so we know, I did quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, and just 1 flex.
That's exactly what I did.
Cool. Sweet. Perfect. All right. You go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So since this is the start of the 2025 season, I was really focusing on matchups for this lineup. And then also just thinking of, okay, who are some players that have a little bit more opportunity to get the ball and make plays than others. So I'm a big fan, if you haven't caught on to this yet, of stacks in football. So that's where you stack a quarterback with their top wide receiver or their tight end, because whenever a quarterback throws a touchdown to that player, the player's going to get a lot of points, and then the quarterback's also going to get a lot of points. So for this, I went with a Arizona Cardinals stack. So Kyler Murray is my quarterback, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is my top wide receiver. They are playing the New Orleans Saints, who I think is going to be the worst team in football this year.
Hope not.
I would be surprised if they actually won a game, in all honesty. They don't have a quarterback. Their only player that's actually any good on their team is Alvin Kamara.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave is good.
We'll see if he can stay healthy.
Has no quarterback to throw to him.
Yeah.
Their defense used to be good. I think that they're old now, and I don't know how good they're going to be on their defense. And so I think whoever is going up against the New Orleans Saints, always play them. So I got Kyler Murray as my quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr. is my top wide receiver. My running back, I have Tony Pollard. He is the running back 1 for the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans have a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, who I think will be really good. I just think he might need some time to get his sea legs underneath him. And so I think they're going to rely on Tony Pollard in the run game a lot, especially here in week 1. And Tajay Spears, who was supposed to split the backfield with Tony Pollard, is no longer in. He's on IR to start the year for the first 4 weeks. So Tony Pollard, I think, has running back 1 potential here this week. I forget who they're playing, but I don't think it was anybody that had a stout defense. So
you talking about the Titans?
Yes, I forget who the Titans were playing.
They are playing the Broncos, which is
the Broncos. So that is
the best defense in the NFL.
All right. Well, there you go. I still like Tony Pollard, though. My wide receiver 2 for this week is none other than the homer Jerry Jeudy. I think the Browns offense is going to be sneakily good this year. Jerry Jeudy, I think, will be a target machine and be the main focal point of the offense. And this week they're playing the Bengals, and their defense is really just not good. I don't know how else to say it. They don't have anybody of consequence outside of Trey Hendrickson. And if we can shut down Trey Hendrickson, I think Jerry Jeudy can make a lot of holes in that secondary. So I think he'll be really good. My tight end is Brock Bowers. I think
always David is a Brock Bowers boy. That dude would marry Brock Bowers, and he just got married. So.
Maybe not, but he is my tight end favorite. I got him in my dynasty draft last year, and so I've been a big fan of his since then. But I think his matchup is going to be really good. I think the Raiders will try and force feed Ashton Genty a lot this week. So he also is another person that could be a good player. But I think when it comes down to the red zone, Brock Bowers is just going to score a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then my flex player this week may be a bit of a surprise, but I went with Zay Flowers. I think the the Ravens, while their receiving core is very suspect, I think Zay Flowers might have a breakout year this year, and I think it's going to start week 1. I think Lamar is going to work to find him a lot more. He's going to be kind of the check down guy for him. But Isaiah Likely's not in the game. Mark Andrews is still playing, but may not be as great of a weapon as he once was. And so I think Zay Flowers is really going to step up and emerge as the wide receiver 1 for that team. So, yeah, that's my legacy lineup. Monster, what you got?
Personally, I think there's no worse or most underwhelming stack than Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers in the NFL. But, I mean, teach their own. Yeah, I am not a Zay Flowers truther. I mean, we'll see. I like the opportunity, but I don't necessarily love the player. Well, I mean, but I think the matchup might be good. The Bills are, pretty good defense, but I mean,
they also are missing
DeAndre
the top
Hopkins.
2 corners as well.
Yeah.
So,
and they have DeAndre Hopkins. Rashad Bateman had 9 touchdowns last year, so I could see where he breaks out this week for sure. All right, my legacy lineup.
I'm excited.
For quarterback, I went quarterback Jaden Daniels from
now that's your boy right there, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I drafted Jaden Daniels over Caleb and all the other quarterbacks last year, and over some other running backs I liked, and some made fun of me on our dynasty league, but I knew what I was doing. I knew he was
exactly what you were
doing. He's playing the New York Giants, which is just not a good defense. They have Abdul Carter. They took him in the top 5 this year. He's a rookie defensive end. All rookie pass rushers who've been drafted in the top 5 since 2000 have had an average production of only 5.7 sacks this season. I don't see him really affecting week 1, especially Jaden Daniels, who is just a dynamic in the run game. You have to watch him in the run game, and also his arm's incredible. So RPO is going to be a big deal, and for a rookie, I feel like he might struggle. RPO is run pass option, so the quarterback has an option of running or passing the ball. And with a running quarterback, that's hard to manage. There's only been 5 defensive ends that have had more than 10 as a rookie, and that was Julius Peppers, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Joey Bosa, and Ndamukong Suh. That's a big task. There's a lot of names, and I just don't know if Carter, as much as I believe in the player and wanted him for my team for the Browns, I don't think he'll necessarily be stout for week 1. And even with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, I still expect Jaden to play really well, especially with those new offensive pieces with Debo and Bill Krosky-Merritt and McLaurin and McLaurin on a new contract. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a really, really good week, and I have a lot of shares of him in a lot of leagues. I'm really excited about this guy. So. Running back, I have another guy that I drafted. This wasn't intentional, but I have Bucky Irving versus Atlanta. Yeah. The Falcons have one of the worst defenses in 2025. They have the second worst pressure rate in 2024, one of the worst run defenses as well. They added nice rookie pieces in James Pierce and Jalen Walker, but their defense is not going to be good. I look for Bucky to absolutely tear it up this week, especially with Godwin out and Jalen McMillan out as well. Like they're gonna pass a lot. They have Mike Evans. They have Emeka Egbuka, who's just. I'm a Buckeye fan too, and I love that guy. So they'll play well, but Bucky Irvin's going to tear it up this week, I think.
Yeah, I think he will be a PPR machine this week.
Too. Yeah, he's going to catch a lot of passes out of the backfield. And I think it was 4th or 5th round pick last year to take over the backfield as a rookie. Like that's hard to do, especially with Rashard Wright, who was young and also caught passes in the backfield. He earned this, and I think he's going to reap the benefits. He's going to be a top 5 running back this year, I would say.
Yeah.
My wide receiver this week, I'm going with Brian Thomas Jr. versus Carolina Panthers. Brian Thomas Jr. was a top 5 receiver last year as a rookie. The guy's an animal. He's fast, he's big, and he catches everything.
LSU wide receivers.
It's crazy. I mean, they're not as good as Ohio State wide receivers, but they're pretty good. And now the Jaguars with the addition of Travis Hunter, we have some discrepancies about this, but I think Travis Hunter is going to be generational. I think he's very, very good, and I think that he's going to be a problem for defenses, and that's just going to help Brian Thomas more because now defenses have somebody else that they're going to have to worry about. Carolina's a bottom 5 defense, and they really didn't add a ton this year from the rookie draft or from free agency. So I just think Brian Thomas is just going to go off this year and this week specifically. My second wide receiver, is another Tampa Bay player, Mike Evans.
Oh,
okay. Also against Atlanta. Mike Evans is I'm sorry, I wrote something that didn't make sense. Mike Evans is the number one receiver with a fantastic quarterback in Baker Mayfield who, he lost his offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, to the Jaguars, but I think that they're not going to have a step back. I think that Mike Evans has had, 7, 8 every year. I think that he's been in the NFL. He's had 1,000 yards, and I don't think that he's going to skip a beat this year. Yep. He's the number one, and with a guy like Ibuka, who has a lot of hype as a rookie, Godwin hopefully will come back off IR week 5 or 6, and that team is going to be really good this year. But Mike Evans, I think this week, Atlanta has nobody. They have Jesse Bates as a safety, but their corners aren't very good, and I think that he's going to be a mismatch for sure.
Yeah, not to mention that Kate Otten is also not playing start of the year for the Bucs. So Mike Evans
which could be hard because they might double team, but Baker can also run, so you have to acknowledge that. Bucky Irving is going to be dynamic. I think that regardless, Mike is going to get open like he always does, and Baker's just going to light him up. So tight end, I have Trey McBride versus the Saints. As David said, the Saints are terrible. I think the Browns are projected to beat the Saints this year, and that is the only team that they're projected to beat by, according to Vegas. We'll see about that. I'm not sure, but Trey McBride is going to be very, very good. Brandon Staley joined the Saints as Kellen Moore's defensive coordinator. He was the head coach for the Chargers before Harbaugh went there. When Staley was at the Chargers, his defenses ranked in the mid-20s every single year, even with guys like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. And so I'm not worried about – and the Saints don't have anybody. They have nobody on defense. Do they have Cam Jordan anymore? I don't even know.
I think he's still playing. I don't know either.
He's past his prime. They have nobody.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a slaughter. Kyler is going to look for his tight end. Trey McBride is going to be a top 3 tight end this year, and it's going to start off this week for sure. Especially with the team's going to have to worry about Marvin Harrison Jr. and James Conner. Trey McBride in the middle of the field, he's going to beat any linebacker that's on this New Orleans Saints team for sure. And then finally, this is my dude. This might be my sleeper, but I don't care. My flex position, I am going Josh Downs.
Josh Downs.
He's a receiver for the Colts.
You believe in Daniel Jones, huh?
I believe in Daniel Jones. Hold on. Josh Downs versus Miami. Okay, Miami's defense is not good. They just traded away Jalen Ramsey, who is their only good corner. They're starting a second year corner. What was his name? Stone. I forget. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. Second year guy as a corner, and then they're starting a 5th round rookie as the other starting corner. So it's going to be crazy. They have Pittman, who they're going to have to worry about. They have Tyler Warren, who I think is going to be a top 5 tight end this year. He's a rookie out of Penn State, and he's also on my team, baby. My dynasty team, guys. I'll talk about. You guys don't care about my dynasty team, but I do. I worked hard.
We'll have to do just an episode about dynasty because I think that would be fun.
We'll talk about our team. I don't know how many people care about our team, but we'll mix it. It'll be fun. But and that's enough said. Josh Downs is going to have a great game. He's going against a 5th round rookie from Western Colorado, who's a nobody. I think Josh Downs is going to be a nightmare for NFL teams this year. I do believe in Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones, all you have to do is throw it to Malik Neighbors. Throw it to your slot guy, get the ball, get it out quick, and see what happens. I think Josh Downs is going to be the benefit of getting the guy who's going to get the ball out quick to him. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and tag us and let us know which legacy lineup you like more. I'm excited to see what happens, though.
I like mine more.
All right. So our next segment that we've got is called Sleepers and Creepers. So let's talk through some of our best players that we can target via the waiver wire. That could be our sleepers for this season. And then talk about some players that we want to avoid at all costs this year, a.k.a. the creepers.
Yeah.
So would you like to go first?
You go first.
Okay. The sleeper that I think I am most excited about this year. I kind of talked about Cam Ward a little bit in our last segment, but his rookie wide receiver, Alec Aomanor, I am very, very excited about.
Oh, I know you are.
I think he's already penciled in on the depth chart as one of the top wide receivers on the team. I think
Time out. Sorry, breaking news real quick. Breaking news. The Cleveland Browns have just signed Quinshon Judkins. Finally. Quinshon Judkins is finally with the Browns, guys. David and I are Browns fans. I'm wearing my Browns gear. I want to state that the allegations were horrible. I don't condone anything like that. He was no build. They believe that there was not enough to prosecute. Nonetheless, I hope that nothing like this happens in the future. Keep your nose down. Play for the Browns, play well, and just move on. Any other hint of an instance like this, bro, you got to get out of town. We don't want you with this team. We're happy you're here. Don't make us look like fools, man. Just play well, be a rookie, and keep your head on straight, bro. Don't be doing stupid stuff. Sorry about that.
No, but you're good.
Judkins is now with the Browns, former Ohio State national champion.
Yeah, good news for the Browns. Probably not going to play week 1, but definitely somebody to put in on your roster and stash for later on in the season.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, back to my sleeper, Alec Manor. He's the wide receiver 2 on the depth chart, so he's already going to have opportunity. I think teams are going to lock in on Calvin Ridley and do what they can to cover him, which is just going to create a lot more opportunity for Alec to run free and open and against a lot worse corners. And I think Cam Ward has already shown that chemistry with him during the whole preseason. And I think that it's just going to continue into the regular season. And I think, especially in dynasty leagues, I think he's going to be a really good sleeper to have on your team and on your roster. So That's my top sleeper. I don't want to say any more because I have a few more, but I figured you might bring up some other people. So
we can go back and forth. I have a couple. So
okay. And then my creeper that I am avoiding at all costs this year. I hate to say this because I know you are a huge fan of this player, but Garrett Wilson is my creeper that I'm avoiding this year. I just feel like
that's my
draft value. Huh?
That's my Pookie. I love Garrett Wilson.
I think he's immensely talented. I just think the draft capital to spend on him this year for fantasy is just a little too high.
Sure.
If he was like 2 or 3 rounds later, I think it would be worth it. But he's got opportunity. He's got Justin Fields with him as his quarterback, but I just don't believe in the Jets, and I just don't believe in the system that he's in. I would love to be proven wrong, but I'm just not buying the hype that's around Garrett Wilson this year. Maybe next year when they get a better quarterback and a better system around him, but for right now, I'm just out.
You know what's fun is the good thing about me and David and I doing a podcast together. We're best friends. We talk fantasy football all the time. We do not agree on jack squat, and that's what makes it fun. I'm not going to argue this time, but you're wrong. So.
That's fine. As I said, I would gladly be proven wrong.
Heck yeah, man.
I believe and I like Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. So
yeah. All right. I already went over my top sleeper. I'll go over a little bit again. My top sleeper for this year is Josh Downs. I think he is prime breakout candidate number 1. I think that last year especially at the end of the season, he showed that he could be a number 1 receiver, and people aren't looking at it that way. They look at Pittman. They look at, do they have anybody on this team? This guy is going to get peppered with passes from Daniel Jones. I could see him getting 80 to 100 catches this year, and everyone be like, what the heck, where'd this guy come from? I'm going to tell you where he came from. He came from my mind, and it's coming this year. So you better hop on because Josh Downs is coming. This is his year. He's a sleeper. It's giving me Malik Neighbor vibes, as I said. I think that he is just going to get a ton of catches. I think Tyler Warren is going to be so dynamic that he's going to be the number 1 target, but he's also going to be the number 1 target to defend on the defense, and Josh Downs is going to reap that benefit. My number 1 creeper this year might be controversial, but I'm going with James Cooks, the running back for the Bills.
Oh, interesting.
James Cooks had a phenomenal season last year. But it was capped off with 16 rushing touchdowns, which is just not something that he can
not sustainable.
Yeah, he is a prime regression candidate this year. Do I think he's going to be bad? No, I don't. But there's no way he's going to get 16 touchdowns again. I almost said I would put one of my kidneys on it, but I'm not going to do that. That sounds dumb. I'm going with the stats. It's really hard as a running back to get 10 rushing touchdowns. He had 16. There's no way he gets 16. And if he just gets 10, which is really good, that's a big regression from 16. So,
Yep.
I mean, we're talking, that's just 36 points right there just off of just scoring alone for fantasy football, which is a big deal when it comes for a season.
Not to mention the rise of Ray Davis as well in that offense.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's going to compete for some more shares of the backfield. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you want to do another sleeper?
Sure. Yeah. My second sleeper, I don't know why, but I feel like I've somehow been bamboozled into the rookie wide receiver class this year, and I probably shouldn't have been, but Deonta Thornton for the Raiders is another one of my sleepers.
Good one.
Yeah, he's listed again as one of the top options at the wide receiver position on the depth chart for the Raiders. I think that offense is going to look a lot better this year with Geno Smith being the quarterback. Going to be a little bit more consistency there. And he's just a tall, fast freak of nature. So I think
he was 6'3", 200 pounds, runs a 4.3 40.
It's honestly like Megatron running out there. Not skill wise, but comparable sizes and frames, maybe is a better way of putting it. So I think he's going to be a good red zone target for them. Somebody to definitely stash on your roster and just wait and see what happens. I feel like between those two people that I brought up, those will be some of the top waiver wire additions after week one's over. But we'll see. And then another creeper that I do not like this year. Oh, I got to think about this one. So there's two in my head that I'm going back and forth between. All right, I'll go with my other one that I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to because I have him on my dynasty team. But Tyreek Hill is somebody that I'm out on this year.
I agree. There you go.
Yeah. There's always a chance that he's explosive just because that's the type of player that he is. But I just feel like he's burnt a lot of bridges in Miami. And if there's anything that's like the core truth about football is that it's a relationship business. Like it's built upon trust, built upon that bonding. And I feel like since he's kind of burned those bridges and lost a lot of that trust with that team, I honestly don't know if he finishes the season with the Dolphins. I don't know if he's going to get those same targets or those same looks or those same plays drawn up for him to get open. And so I think he's just kind of going to start regressing here. Plus he's 32-year-old wide receiver in the league.
He's getting old. He still says he's the fastest man in the world. He's always challenging like I show speed and some of those, influencers are really fast, but nonetheless, he's fast, but he's getting old. Like you said, we'll see.
Yep.
And I believe
a cliff right when they get to like 31, 32, wide receivers just fall off. So.
And I believe in Waddle. I think Waddle has been a regression candidate for the last couple of years, but he's going to play well this year, and I think he could eventually take over as the WR1 for the Dolphins this season. So
not to mention Malik Washington would also compete for targets.
He's on my team too, baby. Whew. All right, I have another sleeper. His name, he's a rookie receiver. What? His nickname, I'm going with it, is Mayotron.
Oh boy,
Mayotron, because he's a big, tall white boy. But his name is Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla. He's a rookie receiver. He came from Arkansas last year in the third round to the Detroit Lions. Detroit traded 2 third-round picks to draft him in the third round. So technically, they used 3 third-round picks on this dude. He's really, really good. He's fast. He's tall. He can do, I don't know if you saw, but after he scored one of his touchdowns in the preseason, he did a perfect worm.
Honestly, it was flawless.
It was perfect. Just on that alone, that man's a sleeper. But I mean, he's done everything that they've asked for him to do. He's scored, I think he scored 3 touchdowns in the preseason. They traded away Tim Patrick, their wide receiver 3. So it seems like he's solidified that position as the wide receiver 3. I think he's eventually going to take over maybe the wide receiver 2 with Jameson Williams, but there's a lot in his way right now. They have, obviously Godson with Amon St. Brown. They have Jameson Williams. Even Sam Laporta is out there catching passes. Gibbs will catch passes in the backfield. So there's a lot of people that are out there to get fed the ball. But this guy, he's on my taxi squad. He's going to sit there for a while, and I think I'm going to reap the benefits. He's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, and I think that's also going to boost up Jared Goff's value.
I agree.
Too.
And he did well last year. I don't know how much more he can boost. Last year was probably one of his best years. He had the most touchdowns in his career.
Just got weapons all around him.
Hold on. Breaking news. Fully guaranteed rookie contract for the Quinton Judkins, by the way. Fully guaranteed. So even after the allegations, that's par with. So this, there's never been in history a second-round pick with a fully guaranteed contract. And this year, Jaden Higgins, the rookie receiver for the Texans, that's what he got. And then every single second-round pick after that has been demanding it. We gave it to Carson Schlesinger, the Browns did, our rookie second-round pick linebacker, and now we see that Quinton Judkins as well as getting that guaranteed contract, even after the allegations that that he was accused of. So he's with the Browns. He's going to be a very good pickup. He's, I guess, one of my sleepers now. So a creeper I have. I tossed it up between two more guys. I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
Okay.
David Montgomery, he's the second string running back for the Detroit Lions. And you say second string like it's a bad thing. David Montgomery is a very, very good player. And he plays really well within that role. There is a nice combination. Sorry, man. I am combination between Gibbs and Montgomery, but the one big thing this year that is missing is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was their offensive coordinator. He's the one he's a beast. He's schemed up everything, so much so that he became a head coach for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears now. Sorry, apparently our time's running out because I'm stuttering. So. Yeah, I just think that, without his game plan, I think that Gibbs is going to get more of a role because he's a better player. And with that, it's just a natural regression with Montgomery. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's going to do as well as he has done previously.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, the only caveat to that, I feel like, is if Gibbs gets hurt and misses time, he's going to jump up until. Yeah,
but I mean, we're not going to bet on injuries here. We're just going to bet on
correct.
What we have in front of us.
We don't want injuries here.
We don't. Ever. They're all on David's team.
I mean, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, that's our sleepers and creepers this year. Go ahead and tag us if there's another sleeper or creeper that you like this year. But yeah, that was our last segment. So to wrap it up, we just wanted to say thanks for listening and thanks for following us. We really appreciate the support, and we are wanting to do more shows like this. So you can always engage with us on Twitter. X now, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Please go subscribe to all those. Once again, I just wanted to give a big thank you to the Inside Edge Network and LVP Productions and our sponsor, Mossor Moments Photography. Go check them out, MossorMomentsPhotography.com, MOSSOR Moments Photography. We're going to make this a weekly podcast. We're going to try to get it out every week before the games on Sunday. Thursday's a little unrealistic, I think, but with Inside Edge, we'll have to figure out a calendar because we actually really haven't even talked about this. Inside Edge is new. They're going to bring on a lot of podcasts, and we're one of them. So we're going to have to go through a schedule and figure that out, what works good for us and them. But we are going to do weekly episodes and try to bring in fantasy football advice all year round. That'd be the goal. So, yeah. Thank you, David. I'm very excited to start this. Like I said, we waited probably 5 years to get this going. I want to shout out my wife, Hallie Mosser, for the incredible logo for the Commissioner's Couch.
Amazing, Hallie.
Yeah, amazing. She exactly what I envisioned. She made it better. So it looks awesome. We're really grateful for that. Go check us out on Twitter, thecommissioncouch.com. Nope, just at the Commish Couch. There's no .com. I'm ridiculous.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, maybe foreshadowing a website there. Maybe. This is our first episode, but we're going to get better, I promise. So appreciate you guys tuning along, and we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Bye.
Thanks, Dave.